It's the time to get down.
I have a condom on right now. So I'm not worried. My sex is always. I think I'm in with a condom. I ain't had kids. I ain't got. I'm telling you, my baby's is 16. I ain't had a kid since. What that tell you?
I'm not talking about sports no more, Mark. You can have it.
But you know what, Lex? The last thing I do want to say about sports.
I like her. She's an anchor. Oh no, mother! Back to the goddamn.
I will say one thing. The one thing that I don't appreciate about sports is I think. I'm sorry, and I will say it blatantly, and I know you're going to probably get phone calls. What? I think athletes are overpaid, and the real people out there, like the teachers,
that's right,
and the comedians, the teachers, and the public servants. I'm telling you, you guys, those are the people that need to be paid. And
how big are their penises? This is where it comes down to. You can claim teachers need to be paid more.
Let me show them a little.
No, I'm serious. They are overpaid. I mean, unless you know, like they're
show him Dick and see if you think he's overpaid.
Dick's a porn star.
You're wrong.
Say, baby, they gotta give you more.
But wait a minute.
Comedians,
they say Vic gets an erection, all the blood rushes from his head, and he faints.
Oh man.
But he's had an illustrious porn career.
Up to this point, he's had an illustrious. That's what happened. He might go hypotensive. He can lay down, put it on, raise it up with some pillows or something.
Hey, look at this.
Keep your head down.
I just want to say happy birthday.
All right, we're getting ready for the hot. Everybody says we've actually been stalling for the hot pick.
Yes, we have.
Oh, damn.
I don't know if it's coming.
I don't either.
But I do have another story just in case.
There you go.
And it's a wonderful story.
Jesus.
It's a wonderful story. It's a story, we have this new segment, you guys. We call it World News because of the wonderful people that are providing us news from all over the world, all over the globe. We're now getting a lot of news from Europe, a lot of news from Africa, a lot of news from the Middle East, all over. So here is a piece about watching the World Cup with solar power. That's right.
Interesting.
It gives you a whole different perspective on viewing these type of world events.
Watching a football match beamed live onto a giant screen. For many, it's their first time seeing the Football World Cup on television. Most don't have electricity, but thanks to solar power, today they get to watch their team in action. South Africa lost to Uruguay, but many were just glad they were able to watch the game.
Very good because people get along together. I mean, like we save electricity, we watch soccer here, and it's very good, and we are happy about this thing. Look at our place, everybody's happy.
Millions in Africa don't have access to electricity, let alone televisions. And the whole point of this is to get as many people as possible to enjoy this World Cup using solar power. 16 years after the end of apartheid, a lot of South Africa's poor still don't have access to a resource many people in the world take for granted.
No power? Mina Maluleka is still waiting for her lights to be switched on. She's diligently saved up to buy electrical goods, hoping one day she'll get the power to run them. But after 10 years, she says she's lost patience.
Budget. They tell us budget. There's no budget every year. Too many promises, but up to now they still haven't come.
People in Jericho have learned to adapt. A battery-operated radio is often the easiest way to catch the latest score. The few families who do have electricity experience power cuts on a daily basis. But things may be different for the local high school. After the World Cup, it will inherit these solar panels from the environmental group Greenpeace, a legacy that will carry on long after the World Cup has left the continent.
I'm just saying, dynamites are coming in smaller packages, and this is the best dynamite that will keep us going over a number of years. Yes. Particularly remember, we are not going to pay a cent for owning this. And in terms of cash, we are going to save a lot.
It may take years before solar power is widely used as an alternative energy source in South Africa, if it ever is. But during the World Cup, greener energy is bringing the beautiful game of football to Jericho's poorest residents, many of whom are still waiting for these power lines to one day reach their homes. Haru Matasa, Al Jazeera, Jericho, South Africa.
Well, I tell you, we could do an intro. You guys, I wanted you to reflect on that. Really, and once again, I want to thank Al Jazeera for the wonderful pieces that we're getting that are really providing such. You know, we believe so much here at Pax Stereo TV that it's important to develop an international perspective on issues. Get you out of your own backyard, and then you start to really understand how some of the problems that we're dealing with in this country, they're global problems. They've been going on for a long time, and this way you can see we truly are one. What can I say? So we're waiting, Vic.
Yeah, man.
We're waiting. Well, we're trying to make time before we try to get to the hot picks, but we've had some technical problems. So while we're doing that, we're going to go with some of the other secondary stories. And even though these are not quite, first of all, you guys, here's a wonderful story about Precious. You all remember Precious? Yeah, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't.
It reminded me of home. It reminded me of home. When she took that frying pan, that made me reminiscent. I had when she did that frying pan, I was like, Mama, damn, I miss you.
All the movies like that, of Mice and Men, The Grapes of Wrath. I ain't all them suffering ass movies.
Oh yes,
I know Color Purple. I was just tired of, all of that.
Mainline.
But anyway, Precious is premiering in Russia.
Wow.
And it's sparking a big discussion. So once again, giving you that world perspective on our home style events, here is Precious premiering in Russia. While we're waiting for the hot picks, Russian television presents. Oh,
we everywhere.
Man, it's Russian.
I can mess with people. How many of y'all in Russia?
That's right.
Oftentimes, films that make you scared to death are not horror movies, but films about outsiders. What drew you to the subject of Precious?
Truth. There was so much truth in it, and in America, we
That's the
often
director,
don't get a chance
Lee
to see
Daniels.
truth. African Americans are depicted in a specific way. They are treated a certain way. African Americans are depicted in a specific way. African Americans are depicted in a specific way.
I wanted to make that point.
They are treated a certain way. Society treats them a certain way and depicts them a certain way. And what I love about Precious's story is that it's a universal story. Yes, it's a black girl. Yes, she's in the ghetto. But abuse, obesity, illiteracy, these are all. Yes, it's a black girl. Yes,
there's some
she's
technical
in the ghetto.
difficulty.
But abuse, obesity, illiteracy, these are all subjects that are universal, that not only white Americans experience, but the world experience. So and then her will to survive, her will to blossom and grow as a person is what I loved at the end. She grows.
One of the most famous portrait photographers of all time, Joseph Karsh, was quoted as saying that character, like a photograph, develops in darkness. Your film revolves around a 16-year-old girl suffering a mental, physical and social abuse from parents. Could it be any worse?
Yes, it could be worse. I realized after I did Precious that there are people that are going through a lot worse situations than Precious. I realized after I did